Hi, Yakia. It's Miss Strother, and I'm here with the screencast of your essay. So, congratulations on turning in your final exam essay draft. And what I'm going to do is actually put it into Word so that you can see, so that I can play with it and you can see what I'm doing, but that it won't affect your actual Google document. So, what I am going to start with is sort of those basic grammar and editing things, things that are really basic but that you're getting a lot of points for. So I can see that you are doing a great job with this MLA formatting of your heading. This is great. I love your title, but the one thing you need to do is to make sure that you are capitalizing everything. So go ahead and do that. So you have a nice meaningful title, just capitalize it. I'm gonna go down. I can see that you are putting quotation marks, so make sure you're doing it correctly. Oh, I'm having some trouble there. You need a space first. That you're doing quotation marks around your short stories and articles, and you are italicizing, you're italicizing the Odyssey. Now make sure that you capitalize the Odyssey as well. I see you have a thesis statement. That's great. I see you have a topic sentence for your first body paragraph and for your second and for your third. Very nice. And that you have a conclusion that is also formatted well. I don't see your works cited list, so make sure you get that done or come see me if you need some additional support for that. It's only 2 points, but it makes a huge difference. When it comes down to the essay really is only 70 points. So I can see, so you don't quite have 3 pages of text, so that's no points. You don't have a works cited list, no points. You punctuate correctly. Let's see what we got. I can see the beginning of a quotation here and a quotation here, but I don't see the ending and I don't see the page numbers. Okay, so far I don't see any contractions. This is a contraction, so it should say he would. Now, I imagine that is part of the quote. If that's part of the quote, then you don't have a problem, that's fine. Okay, so you get a point for not using contractions, that's awesome, and also for not using third person pronouns. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so I'm going to start by reading you the introduction, and then I'll try to get through one paragraph and your conclusion in my 10 minutes that I've got. Okay. Monster is a person who is evil and mean. Monster is a person who is evil and mean, such as a scary and heartless monster. So this is just a little bit too much repetition, so I think I will take out this very first part. And just say a monster is a person who is evil and mean and such as a scary and heartless monster. Now, that seems to me like your definition, so try to figure out what you can put for your introduction sentence, and I can totally help you with that. The Odyssey, by Homer, is a story about a man named Odysseus who's been trying to get home for 20 years. Masks, by Lucy Greeley, and just realize when you kind of pause a little bit when you're speaking, that's usually about the time when there should be a comma in there, is a story about a girl who had a lethal form of cancer and nearly lost half her jaw, and the kids made fun of her. Maybe what you want to say is it's a story about a girl who had a lethal form of cancer, which caused her to lose nearly half her jaw, and the kids made fun of her at school, or the kids at school made fun of her. I Am Malala is a story about a girl who got shot at for fighting for her rights to go to school. These three stories involve mean people being monsters and bullying one another. The archetype of monster affects, I would say, not literature, because it's not quite, I think what you're trying to say is it affects the story. So what you want to say instead is the archetype of monster affects literature especially in, let's do a comma, especially in the Odyssey, Masks, and I Am Malala. Very nice. Okay, 5 minutes. The archetype of monster affects literature, so fix this from what we have in your thesis. The Cyclops, not Cyclops, his name is Polyphemus. So you could put Polyphemus or you can put the Cyclops. Killed some of Odysseus's men and Odysseus wants revenge. Nice. Once again, I had to stand by and watch as he killed 2 more of my men to make his dinner. Awesome, awesome. Here's where you want your page number. So remember that period gets shoved out to the end of your parentheses. This is called a parenthetical in-text citation because it's in parentheses. You are citing a text, in this case the Odyssey, and it is in your text, right? In the text of your writing. So make sure you get those page numbers because that makes a huge difference in terms of punctuating quotations. Okay, so the Cyclops or Polyphemus, Cyclops unfortunately never capitalized, even if Word wants you to, is a monster who affected the story by creating problems for Odysseus and killing his men. Beautiful. You are totally working the analysis here. Great job. Odysseus poked out the Cyclops' eye, and the Cyclops got mad. Okay. Poked out the Cyclops, which made him angry. So he tried to get Odysseus. Deeper twist. Okay, now tell me what deeper and twist is, because it doesn't seem I know that's not the part where he's trying to get Odysseus. So right here, you want to make sure that you get in right here in the middle part. You want to make sure you get in a little bit more background information because you're trying to show what is this like deeper twist thing. It's because Odysseus knew he had to take care of his men, so he changed from being like a nice guy who just wanted to meet the person in this cave, and suddenly he turned into somebody who was mean and vengeful and could hurt this huge monster. And the reason is that he needed to, because the monster was treating him in a terrible way. So that's what you want to put there. And then what you put here is that Odysseus, you put for your analysis, you have to put something about how meeting the monster totally changes the story and changes Odysseus himself. But I like this. The monster affects the Odyssey by creating problems for Odysseus, as long as you take out those quotation marks. Now go deeper. Okay, 2 minutes. Conclusion. All the stories have a monster in them. Uh-oh, what stories? In your conclusion, you've got to restate everything. I know that sounds like you're just copying things over and it's kind of a pain, but it's important. Okay? Monsters like to bully and be evil to others. So let's make that. So what you should have as your very first sentence of your conclusion is right here, just your thesis. So copy your thesis, put it right here at the very beginning of your conclusion, and then say monsters like to bully and be evil to others. Malala got shot at for fighting for her rights. Lucy from the book Masks from the story Masks had a lethal form of cancer and kids made fun of her because of the way she looked. The Odyssey was about Odysseus and he had been trying to get home for 20 years. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now you need to have one last conclusion sentence because otherwise this is beautiful. It's so clear. You're writing in a nicely structured way. Just 1 minute. And it's really very awesome. So add in more analysis. Go ahead and fix those really basic things and you'll have an awesome essay. I really look forward to reading your final.